Two guys of Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write that down.
It's a Write That Down Wednesday here on Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. The only show in America, this and Purple Daily, that actually puts statistics next to our predictions and holds each other accountable. And I teased this for you guys over on Purple Daily. So our stats on this show go back to 2018, but the predictions go back to 2015. We've had a log of predictions going back to 2015, and I'm just going to pull up the database here, but we have one that came off the board from 2015, and I think it's the oldest prediction still on the books. Remember, we had Judd say back in 2015 the Carolina Hurricanes would relocate to Quebec, and we put an end date of May 2024 on that eventually. So that was from like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
But we had another one that it's at the top of the list, at the very top of the archives here.
Wow.
That came off the board in our accountability session.
I have a guess. I'll wait to see what it is, obviously, but I think I have an idea of what it is. I think, but I also kind of feel like it might have come off the board too. I'm
not going to give you the answer yet because we'll see it in a couple minutes. But who do you think this has been attributed to?
Which one member of the show?
Yeah,
Judd.
Okay.
Judd.
Yeah, Judd definitely has like the most old predictions left on the board.
I mean, my Larry Brown one, which we just totally missed, was on. Well, it was probably on for 3 more years than necessary because we just missed.
Yeah.
In fact, he took a job somewhere in Europe or something, right? There was some weird.
Yeah, he was like an obscure assistant job somewhere. It was Larry Brown. Wasn't it Larry Brown will coach again?
Yeah.
Which meant that either Larry Brown has to coach again or
he has
die.
to die.
Right.
Or that's kind of what made us put end dates on these predictions.
That's a deep route.
So, all right, let's start with the accountability session. Well, I'll explain how it works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs on the show. And listeners, if you want to be like Brady, who's about to jump in as a guest listener predictor, if you want to get on the show, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll try to get you scheduled for sometime in the coming weeks. And if we don't get back to you the first time around, just hit us up again, and we'll try to get you in the mix for later this year, 2025. So let's start with Judd. 2 things came off the board for Judd, not including. Well, there was one of these is 2 years old, but you said the Lynx would beat the Liberty in the Liberty Bibberty in the WNBA finals.
Liberty Bibbity.
Judd got people talk about the Lynx getting robbed. Judd got robbed here.
Yeah.
The officials robbed Judd of a write that down point.
That happens in sports, unfortunately.
2 years ago, you said Alex Rodriguez will be out of the Timberwolves ownership group by the 2024-25 season or sooner. Well, the season started, and he still is a minority owner of the Timberwolves, even though they're going to court here to figure out the finale.
They have a stake. Yep.
So he's still. And by the way, he was there last night. He was.
It's so weird.
Mingling.
And now there's conflicting reports because Sham said that the arbitration hearing starts November 4th and it should be decided within a month. And I think John Krasinski was among those who said it's not going to be a month. It's going to take more than a month. So like now there's conflicting reports about the timeline of how this might even play out.
And I think some of it's semantics. So Shams went on McAfee and basically said, we're going to know within like a month how this plays out. Well, the hearing is in a couple weeks, and Johnny K is saying, well, it's going to take like maybe a month before there's a ruling, but then there's the NBA Board of Governors that has to come. And I had heard during the summer that even though the hearing is going to be in November, by the time all of the processes play out, we're talking like January.
Okay.
So I guess if you want to add insider Phil Mackey's opinion to next to
you got to tweet it
Shams
out or it's not real. If it's not on Twitter, it's not real.
So I'm not saying like firmly January, but there's chatter high up in the Wolves organization.
Right. But it's not going to be. It's not like we're going to have a resolution and know exactly who owns the team a month after that hearing.
Yeah, like 5:00 the day that the hearing ends or something. It's not how it works. So. All right, over to me. We'll start with the bad. And then I'm the one that had the 9-year prediction come
Was
off
that
the board.
In 15?
Oh,
yeah,
my
we'll
God.
get to it.
Oh my goodness!
I said the Timberwolves will have a 20-point lead or more at some point against the Lakers.
Lakers led by 19. I think that was their max lead.
Yep, and the Wolves led by 2 at one point. So I came close. Not really. Primetime parlay. Declan's better at these than me. I said Jets, Chargers, and Ravens all win. Well, 2 of them lost. So
That's parlaying.
And then I had a Wolves opener parlay. I said the Wolves would win the opener. Donte DiVincenzo, Donte 3Vincenzo would hit at least 4 threes, and Ant would drop at least 30 points.
Oh, God.
Clunk, front of the rim, front of the rim again.
I think all of those were wrong, right? DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
I said the Lynx would win the WNBA title and Nafisa Collier would win Finals MVP. Ironically, if Nafisa Collier hits a layup before the blown call, both those things probably come true. But
and you got a home run.
And then we get to the longest standing prediction in our database. Back in 2015, when Johnny Manziel was, I think, benched at some point, didn't he go to Vegas or something during a game week?
If I'm not mistaken now, his quarterback's coach was Kevin O'Connell, right?
Yeah. 2015.
I'd love to get O'Connell
Cleveland
just
Browns.
to sit down and tell us a Manziel story.
Oh, my gosh. So I had predicted toward the end of that season on the old Mackey and Judd radio show on 1500 ESPN.
Want to ring the bell?
Do-do-do-do-do.
Hold on, I'm going to tune in right now.
Question.
Wait, hold. Wait, I got it right here. I got the radio right here. Oh, here it is. It's crackling. I can hear Phil talking.
Please tell me now.
I said Johnny Manziel will appear on a reality show before starting again in an NFL football game.
Wow.
I brought this one up like a year or two ago because he was featured on it was like a
Netflix.
documentary, right?
Untold, right? Was it Untold?
Yeah.
I think is what it was. Yeah.
Pretty good, but
But you guys kind of deemed it, said that's a documentary is not a reality show, even though they're kind of close cousins.
I think we got Lawyer Chase involved too.
Yeah,
I
we
think
did.
Lawyer Chase had to rule. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Netflix has another show called Selling Sunset. There's been 8 seasons of it's a high-end, like Hollywood real estate reality show. Mm-hmm. And apparently Johnny Manziel's ex-wife is one of the current stars of the show in season 8. And episode 6 of season 8, which I think came out a month ago, according to the internet, featured Johnny Manziel looking to buy a multi-million-dollar house in LA, working with his ex-wife in the episode to hammer out the transaction.
And you said appear. So, yeah.
So
Not star, appear. Yeah. That's awesome.
So,
but like, well, even, I mean, either way, like,
But he just appeared.
He wasn't the center figure of the reality show.
I'm giving you credit for your semantical choice because
Thank you.
You said because if you had said star, I'd be like, well, he's not really starring, Phil. I think that's incorrect, but you got it right. So yes, and I cannot believe that was 2015. It feels like it's a long time ago. It doesn't feel that long ago that you made that prediction.
Yeah.
So did you figure this out on your own? Did someone tip you off? Like, how did this come to be?
My process is I'll take you behind the curtain here. I don't know if I can show this. Can I show you my laptop here full screen?
Be careful. I mean, who knows what's on it?
So every single week.
Here you go. I full screened you.
Yeah.
This is the database right here. You see this?
Oh my God.
It is an Excel spreadsheet. And I go through from bottom to top or top to bottom all of our predictions every week and just scroll through to see what's coming off the board or what's not. And I don't know, once every for these big ones like Big Ten restaurant, Judd, will reopen somewhere on the East Bank. Like once a year, I will Google Big Ten restaurant, Minneapolis for you, just to see if you get that point or not.
Massive mistake. That did not take place yet.
Club sandwich?
Massive money-making opportunity.
Or like I have one that says the Twins will pluck someone from the Cubs front office. You know, like, okay, we're back on watch for that because they just didn't renew their general manager. But for some of these, like Johnny Manziel will appear in a reality show before starting in the NFL again. about once every 3 or 4 months, I'll just Google Johnny Manziel reality show and see if there's anything. There's a show in production, according to Reddit, called like Manziel's Mansion, where he's supposedly getting, I don't know if it's like a Texas A&M thing, but he's like getting people in a house and they're doing some filming earlier this year. But yeah, he was the central figure of episode 6, season 8 of Selling Sunset on Netflix. So
Nicely done.
there you go. The long play on, write that down.
Wow.
Listeners, not a great week. Sam said Donte hits his first 3-point attempt, Donte DiVincenzo.
Damn.
And the Wolves take at least 36 3-pointers. Well, they did take 41, but
he didn't
Donte
hit his first, right?
bricked his...
2 of 7, 2 of 8. It was a little bit of a...
Yeah, he was off
Not
last
as-
night. The new guys were off last night. There's no question about it.
Sam said the Timberwolves would beat the Lakers. The Lakers hold a second-half lead at some point, and Bron and Bronny will share the court at the same time. So he had 2 of the 3 of these were correct, but the Wolves didn't beat the Lakers. We will talk extensively about that game on Flagrant Howls. So many things to get to. Mike had a Week 7 parlay. Sam Darnold will have 2 or more touchdowns against the Lions. David Montgomery with 1 touchdown. Both of those things were incorrect.
I forgot about he just threw in arbitrarily the Seahawks will beat the Falcons.
And they did. They smoked the Falcons.
That's hilarious. Yeah, they did.
Jay said the Wild will either cut or trade 3 players before the start of the season, and one of them will be a goaltender.
Nope.
And then Dylan said at least 6 players would score in double figures for the Wolves in their opener against the Lakers. They had 6 guys average double figures last year, so that was right on. Exactly 6 scored in double figures last night. And then 2 things came off the board for Dex. You said the Wolves would beat the Lakers in their season opener, and Donte DiVincenzo would hit at least 4 3-pointers. And the Yankees and Mets would meet in this year's World Series. You got that half right.
Yeah, there we go. That's nice.
So on the season, I'm batting 357, Declan 324, listeners 320, Judd 293, and then listeners have 11 home runs. Judd and myself have 10, Declan with 8. So it's really anyone's battle here in both these categories. And then for career, Declan with a 355 career average, Judd 344 for hits, and listeners have 66 home runs, which leads everyone else by at least 10. So there we go.
Alrighty.
Let's bring him in here. Brady making his debut on Write That Down. What's going on, Brady?
But predictions here, and happy to be on the show. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So we met you at the Score North Twins Show balcony event.
Yep.
A couple months back. Tell us in the audience your background as a Minnesota sports fan. What got you hooked?
Yeah. So, my parents and my grandpa, especially, have been Minnesota sports fans for longer than I was born. So I was kind of just born right into it. And then, I'd watch, Twins games with my grandpa a lot. That was probably one of the best memories with Minnesota sports I had. And then, got really into the Vikings the past couple of years. And then, started watching you guys my sophomore year of high school. And now I'm in college. So, yeah.
Awesome, man.
Thank you.
Sports Dad, do you have any advice for young Brady here as he...
Well, I like the dorm life. It's clear from your clothes, or right behind you that this is the dorm life. Hold on a second. We got a little Kirill.
Yep, we got 2 Kirill
And
jerseys.
Flower, or 2 Kirills.
2 Kirill jerseys. Yep.
I like the throwback, man. I like the reverse retro is class. You know what? I think you're on the right track here.
Thank
I
you.
think you're on the right track, and you're definitely at a good school because I don't know if you're 21 yet, but the second that you are, Mankato, filled with, let's say, options as far as the nightlife goes. I miss Mankato.
Sounds good.
I miss the old Applebee's runs with Judd, Chipper, the old Vikings beat back in the Brad Childress days.
Yep, exactly.
Boneless wings and
Phil
beer.
once damn near in a food coma in the Applebee's.
Mozzarella
Chip and I walk
sticks.
in. Phil's got, I'm not joking, Phil's got 4 plates just in front of him.
It's
One
2 for
is
1.
empty.
2 for 1 apps.
And he's like literally like it looks like he's been punched in a boxing match.
And it wasn't from drinking. It was I just
No,
had like
it's food.
4 different appetizers.
It
at
was
Applebee's,
food,
man.
and
For the price
Chip
of
and
2,
I are
by
like,
the way.
Phil, are you okay? He's like, yeah, you want some?
Burp.
Yeah, we're like, okay, yeah, we'll take some.
Let me clear some room here. All right, we're going to start with Brady over to Judd, back to Dex, and we'll make 3 trips around the room here. So,
Write this down.
Brady, fire away, man. What's your first prediction?
Awesome. Well, like you guys said, I'm going to Minnesota State Mankato right now, so I'm gonna show some Mav pride, and I'm gonna say that they're gonna make the NCAA Frozen Four in the 2024-2025 season.
Okay.
Nice. Little take that, Mike Hastings.
Yeah, no,
Take that. Enjoy your time with the Badgers. We're
that. Yeah,
even better. I like it.
On Saturday against UND, where I'm from, actually in North Dakota, and they kind of clobbered them, so it was a fun watch for sure. So
I like it.
Write this down.
All right. Talked about this on our twin show yesterday, but it's so much fun. I might as well commit it to write that down. The Twins will trade Willie Castro before he can be recognized as the 2024 team MVP at the Diamond Awards on January 23rd. So I'm not going to predict he won't show up because, I mean, some guys just do. But I am going to predict that he will be a former Twin by the time that they try and hand him the plaque January 23rd. I think we've moved now. I think we're at the Armory.
We were at the
right?
Armory last year.
Yeah.
Oh, we were as well. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't.
Last time I went. Yeah, I'm not going again. But
Also, I will say it is a shame that we have wasted such great October weather without having playoff baseball.
Yeah, it was a perfect
Think
day
about-
for World Series
great
yesterday.
point.
The weather has been great the last 3 weeks
Yeah.
for October baseball. And here we sit. Because you never know. Like, it could be 32 degrees and windy and stuff. And
Another reason to be pissed.
Off the record, Judd, or are we? So we'll get a selfie video from Willie on stage. Is that what you think will happen? Like accepting the award, like that happened, like Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yes. Hey guys, really appreciate
really wanted
it.
to be
Always
there,
appreciate
but
my
had
time.
a thing.
But now as a Marlin, I'm just so busy down here, and it's January there, and you guys are suckers. I mean, back on point. Just really appreciate it. Yeah. No. Yeah. He'll literally email it in.
Oh, looks like my internet's cutting out here, so I got to go. But, yep.
Okay.
Win Twins. Win
God,
Twins.
Am I glad they traded me? How can you? Oh, this thing's still on.
Oh, we're live.
Well, we're
I didn't know.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Torrey Hunter.
We're live.
Torrey Hunter, 2 for 4.
We're gonna do this bleeping thing over again. I just
'cause I
bleeped it up.
bleeped it up. We're live. Oh yeah.
I'll go with this one. So I'll even though Donte had a bad game, or a rougher game, I should say, in his opener yesterday, Donte will have a 30-point game or more by the end of this year, in just 2024. So between now and December 31st, he will hit a 30-point game. I just looked this up. Last year he had 7 30-point games. So not out of the question. It's a hit. I have a lot of games to play with. I'm not looking for a home run here, but we'll have a nice big Donte DiVincenzo game, a 30-point game between now and the end of 2024.
Season's done. They're not going to win a game.
It's over.
If you saw last night,
A lot of panic.
like I would just
lot of
release
panic.
guys
Yep.
today. I would just start to just get rid of guys.
Is the ink dry on that Rudy contract, or can we put a hold on that? Can we send
Rudy
Julius Randle back to
Yeah,
New York
that's
for
right.
Cat?
Dude, Randall.
Let's
is-
revoke the trade.
Yeah, if anything.
By the way,
Just kidding.
As bad as the Wolves looked at parts last night, the
Celtics.
Knicks got. Oh my gosh!
How about the Celtics? Was it 62 3-point attempts?
Yeah, they made 29, which tied an NBA record.
Yeah, they were trying to break the record. I saw the end of the game.
Holy cow! Write that down. Okay, this might be a hedge on a previous prediction, but write this down. I think A-Rod and Laurie, who continue to operate. I mean, dude, A-Rod was there last night, courtside. My sources told me that A-Rod was yucking it up with Shams and other NBA luminaries last night. Write this down. A-Rod and Laurie will obtain majority ownership. Their group will obtain majority ownership before the end of this season. It'll probably happen before like the end of January. But why why would you be operating that way if you weren't 100% sure? By now, wouldn't you have an inkling of, oh man, yeah, we've gone through all the legalese behind the scenes and we totally missed this one thing or checkpoint? Wouldn't you sort of back off being around for the opener of the next season? They're operating like it's a foregone conclusion they're going to win this thing.
Yeah. Well, I think that if this was a political campaign, they would win by a landslide. Like, they are very aggressive.
The popular vote?
Yes, they're very good and aggressive at getting their messaging out.
To the point where they both sent out a very similar message about
what are
the
we doing
links
with
on
that?
social yesterday.
What are we doing with that?
So somebody clearly drafted like a congratulations links message, and they both received it, and they both cut and pasted the same message.
Can we not be on the same page there? Like,
Publicist,
it just
come on.
takes a text. Hey,
Yeah.
Mark, are you
send
gonna
this one.
Yeah.
Alex, you send this one. It was a little bit
Write this down.
corny. Okay, back to Brady. Second prediction.
All right, so for my second prediction, I'm going to say that one of the three major men's sports teams in Minnesota, I think one of their head coaches, I'm going to cut out the Twins just because they're not in season right now. I'm going to say one of their coaches will win their respective Coach of the Year awards. So either John Hines, Chris Finch, or Kevin O'Connell will win the Coach of the Year award for their sport.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Write this down.
Not Finch. The Wolves are done.
Yeah, Finch. I mean, Finch probably gets fired within a couple.
I wouldn't
weeks
bring
at
him
this point.
home. You know what?
You let him go
Saturday,
to Sacramento?
probably, yeah. And then I'd fire him there, and I'd drive away. I'd leave him. We're on the curb. Team bus takes off. No Finchy.
Write this down.
All right, the Thursday night football game between the Vikings and the Rams, of course, Amazon Prime, where Al Michaels, who is just so excited to call this game, and Kirk Herbstreit will be doing the play-by-play and color commentary. Write this down. Al Michaels and/or Kirk Herbstreit will no longer be on the Thursday night package next season. I think there's a chance they're both gone. Michaels is in year 3 of a 3-year contract.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I also was doing some research yesterday. I didn't realize that Michaels has actually been asked, hey, those Thursday night games, you seem like you're just not excited. And he basically said, well, consider the product.
Yeah.
It's all, dude, it's all, here's my thing. I think Al Michaels and Bob Costas at the height of their professional careers were two of the best ever. And I still like Costas, like, in some roles, but like when he's doing the Yankees series against the Royals, he just doesn't, I don't know. Like, I don't know that they're really excited to do it. And there's so many guys now and women who are really good. I just don't know that, like, Al Michaels has more money than God. Like,
I know that there's been some pushback to the pushback. Like, Nick Wright went on his Fox Sports 1 show last week and was like, all right, this is the oldest guy take that I've ever had as a 40-year-old sportscaster, but he's a legend, man. These young people that are clowning Al Michaels, and I would push back to the pushback against the pushback and say, dude, he was a legend from like 1975 or 1980 through maybe 10 years ago, one of the greatest play-by-play broadcasters of all time. But if you're hardly able to muster up any level of excitement for these nationally televised games, just peace out, man. Like,
or go.
You don't just get. I would say the same thing, by the way, about Lee Corso. I don't know that we need Lee Corso anymore on College Game Day.
Well, it is difficult because
bring him out for the headgear thing, but it's like it is painful.
Or just have him tape something. Record something. But the thing with Costas and Michaels is this: the Zolgad rules that apply to legendary players apply here. I don't want people to, and for me, I don't want to remember Al Michaels as the disinterested Amazon Prime guy. He's better than that. He's a legend. Bob Costas, who I still love talking about the history of baseball, but the modern day game, you can tell it sort of just bugs him.
Mm-hmm.
And there are fabulous young announcers. But I feel like guys like that, it's like, I'm not being mean, but go away, because you should be remembered for what you were great at, not the end where it like gets to be, it disintegrates.
Yeah, I wish I could fight you a little bit.
Write this down.
All right, back to Dex.
All right, I want a home run here. I feel like I've been stuck on 8. I'm the only one with no double-digit home run, so I'll go for a home run here. Kirill Kaprizov nets a hat trick by next week's. Write that down. So the Wild have been hot, and I think Kirill gets a hat trick, and by next week's. Write that down.
All right. Okay.
Write this down.
All right. I think people freaking out here. Remember the first game of the season against Toronto was a disaster for the Wolves, and then they also had that clunker against the Hawks where
Which was worse.
They blew like a 20-point lead or whatever it was.
Yes.
It was massive. So those 2 games happened early in the season. Let's just take a deep breath here. So write this down. It's the Kings tomorrow night, schedule-wise, right? They get tonight off, and then the Kings are their next game.
Yep.
So we'll go for a 3-item parlay here. Wolves beat the Kings. Anthony Edwards scores at least 30 points. And Donte DiVincenzo hits at least 3 3-pointers. So I think all of those are somewhat realistic. I'm going to put all 3 together in a 3-item parlay here. A Wolves bounce-back parlay.
Write this down.
Write it down. Okay, back to Brady for his 3rd and final prediction.
All right, so for my last prediction, I'm going to go with Sam Darnold will bounce back after the loss last week, and I think he's going to throw for at least 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
Silence that Stafford talk.
Yeah. Well, he can silence it by just having a huge game. But ironically, if the Rams lose, the Matthew Stafford talk will only heighten, if not with the Vikings, with other teams, because they'll be buried. But
write this down.
Be kind of interesting to see what happens with him in the coming weeks. But Brady, great job here on Write That Down. Since you've got this life-altering platform right now, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that helped you get to this peak moment?
Oh, man. I would just say my parents, mom and dad, thank you guys so much for everything, Grandpa Ron, if he's watching this, thank you for those nights, those sleepovers. We'd watch the Twins games. It was just super fun, good memories with Minnesota sports. And then thank you to you guys for letting me be on this show, and thank you for all the good content you guys put out. So, I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Brady. Appreciate you, man. We'll do it again sometime. All right, there he is, guest listener, predictor, Brady. Minnesota State, Mankato. Go Cows.
Great school. Great school. Fantastic school. Great campus.
Write this down.
I feel like there's an endorsement for Judd endorsing
I miss
Minnesota State Mankato.
I miss Mankato. I'm not going to lie. Vikings training camp, I have told everyone this. Vikings training camp.
How many people agree with you?
What's funny is a lot of people around the Vikings agree completely because you went there and you stayed there. I mean, training camp's a grind. Nobody enjoys it. And the fact that it's back here and everyone has to then drive home, and a lot of people don't live that close.
You'd rather
right?
live at the American for 2.5 weeks.
And the Vikings by the end had the air conditioned dorms. Gage was a piece of crap, but by the end, air conditioned dorms. Like you literally got up. I mean, training camp is basically, I think if you work it, it's a 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. grind, right? So just consolidate it. And here's the thing too. There's times for family, and there's times when you don't want to go home and take out the garbage. And if you're in Mankato, you don't have to take out the garbage. It's like Jacques Lemaire said, the playoffs. Jacques
you could just go spend a week in Mankato if you want. If you needed a week away from.
No, but I don't need a week. What I'm saying is during training camp, I want the time away to focus. Ordinarily, I'm fine. It's like Jacques Lemaire said. He put up in 2003, he would put up the Wild at the St. Paul Hotel for home games in the playoffs. And he was asked, why? And he's like, because when the players go home, the wife says, take out the garbage. It's your turn to wake up and change the baby. There's all of these distractions. They don't need distractions. He's right about that. You don't need distractions. It's playoff time.
Plus, you could pull a muscle taking the garbage out, too, and then you wouldn't be able to, to write your Star Tribune notes back in the day.
There's time for life. There's time for life, and there's time for work.
Or you're trying to win a quarterback battle, and you kick open a window when you come home after having too much fun.
That's the biggest bunch of BS. Taylor, that is the biggest lie of all time. I want to know how he got hurt and how drunk he truly was.
More like Taylor Heineken. Huh?
Write this down.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Write this down. Write this down. Jared Goff will be the National Football League Associated Press MVP this season.
Ooh.
I saw a lot. I mean, they're good. Saw a lot on Sunday. I know this sounds like a long shot now, but I think he's opening eyes. And, I mean, he has, to his credit, made a ton of improvement. Ben Johnson's a great OC. I think he's going to be the MVP.
He's plus 700. Has the fourth best odds right now to win MVP. Yep. Lamar Jackson, the favorite at plus 195, and it's not close.
Yeah, he's been. I mean, the 5 touchdowns too against Tampa, which kind of goosed his numbers, and then you got the 800 yards he's about to run for too. I actually have a Lamar Jackson.
I was just about to say
the term "goosed" is great.
That's a good one.
Goosed his numbers. That's a great use of the word.
They've been goosed.
Write this down.
All right, Dex.
All right, I'll make a World Series prediction. For the first time since 2009, the New York Yankees will win the World Series. The Yankees will beat the Dodgers.
The Dodgers have extra inspiration now, though, with the legendary Fernando passing away.
I mean, I know the story, and I think there's even a good 30 for 30 on it, too. Those first, 10 starts, Jeff Passan put out the game log of his. It's insane. It'll never happen again.
It's
it'll
like 9 complete games, most of them shutouts.
Like 4 or 5 total earned runs, so many strikeouts. It's insane.
One of the most important players in the history of that entire franchise. He's top 5. I mean, the amount of fans that he drew, like he made the Dodgers. It was so much fun, and the delivery, the windup, where his eyes would roll up in his head. I mean, it was that. That summer sucked because it's the summer that got delayed by the strike, and there were 2 halves of a season, and the Dodgers ultimately beat the Yankees in the World Series. But the highlight of '81 was the Fernando Mania phenom. It was great.
Yeah. Okay, write this down.
Write this down.
Lamar Jackson, parlay here. Lamar Jackson will win MVP, and the Ravens will represent the American Football Conference in the Super Bowl. Okay. Write it down. I was going to say Lamar Jackson was going to win MVP and beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, but I don't, if the Chiefs lose out or something, or they don't meet each other.
Right. Yeah.
So Lamar Jackson, MVP, and Ravens will play in the Super Bowl.
Vikings?
Maybe.
Stafford,
Maybe.
4 touchdowns, Super Bowl MVP.
Can't wait for that bonus episode of Purple Daily here today. Oh my gosh. But purple on purple. I think right now, gun to the head, Ravens, Lions. It's October, so like things can change in the next 2 months. But Ravens, Lions feels interesting. Feels like a crash course in running games.
Who's lurking in this conference? Like San Francisco would be, but they're so decimated, and I mean, they've got guys that are out for extended times, if not the season. Who's potentially like lurking?
I mean,
would the Packers be considered that? They probably wouldn't be.
Kind of.
I feel like they're being slept on a little bit.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, the Eagles, but I don't know, man.
No.
The Eagles seem like
Sirianni's just such a punk.
Yeah, the whole thing feels kind of weird. The Niners could be lurking if they get their injury stuff straightened out, but it's.
I mean, Ayuk's done,
and McCaffrey, like
Debo is their problem is McCaffrey and Debo are just breaking down.
Yeah, this always kind of felt like a really, really steep hill to climb after going to the Super Bowl twice in 5 years and like devastating losses. So, well, those are your write that down predictions.
Write that down.
Your accountability session here, the OG edition, Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Joe. We will have a scoop session tomorrow with our guy Darren Doogie Wolfson. Vikings Vent Line right after Vikings Rams tomorrow night on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. And then Flagrant Howls later on today will be posted recapping the opener that everyone's panicking about. We'll see what our panic meter is.
Everyone gone.
Fire everyone. See you guys.